Continuing with the story about the rear of the DKW F800L van, the passenger van, luxury model. Yeah, we were busy talking about this back area here being down by 20 millimeters, so it didn't line up with the rest of the floor anymore. So the only long straight edge I've got is a pole. I've got a shorter one here that I use quite a lot, which is straight. It's an aluminium tube actually, the other one. So anyway, that's I just used that as my straight edge, and now we are touching on all three of them on both sides. This right hand corner was bent down more than the other, and then to make it all a little bit more unpleasant or whatever, this whole frame here, it goes right around here on the back section of the floor, was also bent out of square. It was out of square quite a bit to the right hand side. In the process of it bending down and bending that way, and with the structures being bent in between and all the views, these parts were also bent. So we'll still check them finally. But yeah, we've got a square corner now again on everywhere. And we've managed to bump these things back into line to most of the degree that we up to now. We can still finally check for absolute straightness there. There's still a little bit of a bow in that one I can see, but not much. Most of the bend was here on the very last section. Obviously with the bending and then the straightening and so on, then you get that kind of thing happening often where it's become harder, and also where it's been stretched or shrunk depending on the situation where you're busy. Yeah, you can still see some dents on the fender. I showed the roof earlier on. Some of those dents, which I forgot to mention, I've already removed, roughly removed. I'm most probably going to remove this panel of the roof because of the rust. I'll have to remove it. There's rust on the seams there where the light's shining through. There's rust. There's rust here in the rain gate, the same as the other side. So that will probably also come out and be replaced. Yeah, then maybe just to give a bit more detail on how I went about it. I don't have all the things ready here now. But basically, I'll just see if we can find the block just now. I've shaped the block so that I wouldn't damage this corner any further here on the outside. Held it underneath here and thumped it with a 4-pound hammer. Quite serious thumping to try and get it back into line. Obviously, we're having a few high spots because of the bending, you know, stretching, shrinking, all that stuff happens. So yeah, there's some of the stuff. This one we've also brought up a little bit. This one, not as much thumping needed here, but mostly on the rear corner at the bottom there to bring it back up. That was also down. That's now also in alignment. That I checked mostly, and also am relying on the top beam. It's a bit dark in here. There's a beam running here. I call it the ring beam. It goes right round. It changes shape a bit there. And there it comes back here. So that's where I held my straight edge on and checked it in various places where I could to see that I am actually back on straightness. Because previously, when I put the straight edge up on this side here, okay, my screen's gone, I'm going to try and bring it back. Okay, so previously when I put my thing on here, my straight edge, it showed that it was out, not just up and down here. Funny, now that I look at this corner, it looks a little bit off square again. I'll check it again and again. Yeah, the other thing is when you had the straight edge on that way, then you could see the straightness of the front cab in relation to the rear, and that was out on both sides, obviously. So we've managed to pull and push that until we got that pretty much straightened out. This I think I've gone through this before. This beam had been straightened by somebody else, and that's why it's been filled up with so much lead on the inside. It's sort of blended in. It's not perfect. There's still some dents everywhere. Here's a big fat dent there, for example. There's lead that's been taken over the grinder, and I could see the lead. There's still a few dents, even though they use lead. And that happens, same thing happened to that bottom beam. That's a normal thing that you can understand. When the beam gets bent, the top cover on the beam, such as this cover here, this part, obviously gets stretched. When in other words, if the beam is now bent that way, this part gets stretched. It's obvious to a lot of people, but some people don't know that. So when you straighten it out again, you end up with waves in here because the metal doesn't shrink back as easily as it stretches. In fact, to shrink it back, it needs to get thicker again, whereas it has gone thinner from the impact. So to get it thicker again, that's not easily done. There are some techniques that one can use to try and get it back in, such as what they often call shrinking. So you can try and absorb some of that by heating the metal to a red hot and then agitating the metal in the right way by tapping it or different methods, but mostly with a hammer and so on. And at that very point also sometimes doing some of the straightening so that it can actually allow itself to get a little bit thicker and shrink again. And then as it cools down, it also shrinks a bit. Also depends on the speed that you cool it down, how you cool it down. Yeah, there's a lot more to it than one realizes. Yeah, what else can I tell you today? I'll make another video. It always gets too long. Over and out. And yeah, if you like it, let us know. And yeah, support us any way you can. That'll be great. We do need tools and lots of things. We're starting up this van restoration business again many years later, but this time it's in the Cape. So I hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Over and out.